throughout the game. It feels like if you're Navi, you have to get early towers, probably mid tier 1 by 10 minutes, somehow avoid ravages. Slark really wins you the game. 0 deaths on VTune. Navi take this.
I just really hope that Navi, they've had a week to prepare for this. They've clearly been practicing the out lane. I hope there's method behind the madness and they can actually execute to the level they need to. Because like Kyle just said, VP, they scale so easily into the late game, unlike Navi. So again, hopefully Navi, they have something to really surprise us with.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure here from my panelists on Navi to perform well in their first game here against VP. Let's see if they can do it. And hear from our commentary team of ODPixel and Fog.
Let's see indeed, as we get ourselves into game 1 of what should be a very exciting series between Navi and VP. Folks, we had some sort of concerns and hesitance from the panel here on with regards to Navi's draft. Do you sort of hold the same, or do you think Navi is again going to be able to show us the power of a lineup built around an offlane out that we have seen, of course, in other regions? EU, you know, they're doing this, and when it works, it really does.
I think Iceberg has to have like a flawless game as this Quaswex. I think if he goes Exort, I'm gonna just heavily lean toward VP instantly. I think this draft is so unbelievably greedy from Navi. Like you have 3 heroes that literally do almost nothing until they start getting items, and those are your 3 cores.
To battle.
I gotta say, they have no real team fight that comes together either. I feel like Iceberg, he really has to pop off on Quaswex, or I think VP's draft is just way stronger in all fronts.
It's just to sort of the level that, from what you've seen from VP throughout this whole league, you would not expect this team to lose to this sort of greedy lineup.
So VP is more about like stability and more about like the easy to execute kind of stuff. Navi's, this looks like some crazy kind of like weird chess that's going on here. I'm not too sure what they're actually going for with where it all culminates together. Well, I look at VP's, I feel like it just is very nice synergistic draft. They have to worry a little bit about Slark if he gets out of control too, and he's able to get like leashes, because the leash aspect versus PA Storm can be annoying. But I'm really just going to be staring at Iceberg like the entire game. Sure. A couple deaths on him, and I feel like they have no way to make plays. It's all revolving around Iceberg early game for him to have a good start, for them to actually be able to contest versus this really strong draft that hits an early timing. Sure, PA takes some time, but the other 4, they're going to be fighting. GPK is very active on his Storm.
I mean, and that's the thing, right? In this mid lane up against the GPK Storm, this being the final pick for VP's lineup, and you think it was a very solid ending to their draft?
Yeah, I think it applies. It makes it really hard because they just don't have good lockdown. So it's like Iceberg has to do a lot of different things. Job, and the Slark has to connect pounces on 2 different heroes, it feels like, but he also has to address supports. We'll see how it ends up working out, because the one thing is that Alchemist in this early laning phase, he's a must. You know, the acid spray push out, you're always able to get your farm, but PA is a hero that I feel like doesn't care. I don't think you mind getting acid sprayed at all. You're super high armor, you have good ways to last it under it anyway with Dagger. So yeah, I'm really confident. I really like what VP's.
We'll see how well Nightfall's able to farm against that pressure of that lane. Meanwhile, down on the bottom, are things going to be as happy for Vichun on the Slark, or do you think he's going to have a bit of a tougher time?
I think he'll have a tough time. I think it's a very different matchup than it was before, especially with the backup of a hero like Lion.
The top lane.
I feel like that's... Ooh, Roger might...
It's going to be fun. The Fairy Fire will save him.
Fair sure to save him, yeah. Close. But yeah, bottom, I feel like Tide actually applies good pressure to Slark, because unlike PA, no, PA has 5 armor. Slark, you have 3. You get gushed, you're negative. Lion, ranged hero, takes advantage of that pretty nicely. And you're not able to really build up your Essence Shift stacks as much as you'd like versus the Tide, even if you have CM. And CM is one of the better heroes to kind of stabilize these lanes, because it has 2 different aspects of holding a tanky hero to build up those stacks. But Lion Tide, we've seen how effective this strategy really is a lot of times.
Now, obviously very early, you know, just 2 minutes in, but already first few waves, we're seeing Nightfall up top, not really missing a CS, and in that mid lane, GPK already getting the edge as the Storm.
Yeah, and VTune, he started with the stick and Ring of Regen just because he knows the spam's gonna come from the gush, but you know that makes it a little bit harder because he has no stats, so then those hits, they hurt more. They do come out from the line. And we're watching Save, you know, with the boots, making sure to block the pull camp over and over again. You see that sentry down from Navi, to be able to block it out as always want to fly. We'll survive. Close.
Both supports nearly dying there. Vichun jumping onto Save, but can't continue to chase. Just always want to fly down bottom, getting low. Roger had to TP out of that top lane. They made a move onto him.
I see PA not getting pressured by the Alch, and Alch's not... He's still getting the farm, at least he's not dying, but he has his skill to Grievous. Grievous is a bit interesting.
He's going to get hit pretty hard here.
Needed it. That's only level 1 Maledict, so it's not as bad. But
still, you know, he hasn't got regen on him. He's got no regen left on him in this lane. So he's going to be sitting pretty low. I mean, he has to get some out before he faces another sort of Maledict combo. He's going to bring a Bastion on the way out, but yeah, no health regen. So General's going to look to Roger. Okay, Roger's got at least a south, so Roger will be able to head over and give that to General to keep him stuck in the lane.
And Iceberg was actually able to force GPK back. He got the mana burn. GPK looks like he got health to stick around, but really didn't want to stay there with no mana. He can't like force the wave under the Invoker, and hey, that's a great start for Iceberg. Going for the double null, paying off for him as he's able to catch up now. Runes will be coming out in a second. Iceberg, he's going to burn the mana again. GPK, see if he's able to guess the right.
Let's have a look. It's going to be a DD top. Roger. Troll and Iceberg. Still laning on GPK. He'll be able to pick that up for himself. Very nice for him.
And we're seeing V2's lane, it's starting to get better. He's gone for the 2 points into this Essence shift that we don't see too often, but makes sense. Tide Runner, and he does have a significant amount of one touch that has built up. So he is starting to catch back up. Caught General. He's gone. This time he's going down.
There's no chance for him here.
Suicide?
Oh, okay. All right. That's no, yeah. Well, there you go.
That's why I skilled it. That's why I got it.
There we go.
Right.
Bottom lane always want to fly.
They get the
That'll be where we see the first blood.
Tell them I sent you.
There's a little too much punch here between the two of them. When DM sets up with the gush, we'll see this. It's deny again here. General. I mean, it's a good job he didn't find somewhere to throw it.
Yep.
As, you know, it did look like he was trying to get it off, but then obviously not finding someone to pass it to actually works out in his favor.
He just raises the eyebrow though. He's like,
all right.
Okay, that's what I meant to do. Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to throw it.
As we do see, yeah, mid and bottom stabilizing a little bit. Alchemist still struggling. And the fact that Nightfall is free farming up here, you know, I've seen a lot of times these Alchemists, they're able to pressure some of these heroes out. PA, it's not going to be the case. So he will have that free farm. And General has to be careful. He just stepped up again. Chen left him.
He'll get the concoction off this time. And he'll live. It's not going to be enough. Charges are plenty. Still not a whole lot of fun.
Cautious. Yeah, he has to be more careful when Roger's leaving him like that, though. He steps up. Like, if the cask or something, if they had mana for it, he was dead. They didn't actually have mana, so ends up surviving because of that. GPK mid.
We're going to see around the rune. He's going to get hit by the MP, but he's already done a lot of damage here to set up onto Iceberg.
Haste respawns. That's fortunate.
Yeah, that'll allow him to the lane. And, also, Iceberg's going to have to be careful and takes the walk back to base. Isn't going to risk it in a lane against the hasted Storm.
1k gold advantage already for VP off of this laning start. Versus that Alchemist. Good sign for them here. General, yeah, he's really struggling. And, you know, just like the panel was talking about, I went through like all of General's history. I went through every single one of his games that he has played recently. It's no Alchemist. It's pretty much just been, as I said, Beastmaster Enigma and then a couple Mars in there. So it's a different strategy. And you have to practice this one for it to actually work out. Especially because like OG and stuff like this, we've seen it get in first pick. So hopefully they are aware of how to play with it and have a good idea of what they want to do with it. Because I'm still looking and I'm like, you know, these Ags are not the greatest. If it was an Invoker with...
I mean, Slark Ags is pretty good. You know, I think Slark Ags is a little underrated.
I can agree, especially this game where it has two really good leash targets, right? Yeah. PA and Storm. That I can agree with.
But sure, whether it's good enough to sort of make you say, hey, we want to do the Alc off lane, get him given out an Ags. You know, you got him, like... You're never seeing the Alc off lane played in a game where he doesn't get any Ags early at all, right? Or are we? Are we seeing teams try it on the off lane where it's not getting any Ags?
I feel like I saw one game where it didn't, but
was
they had
good?
really, really bad Ags games. I can't even remember. I think he was really farmed. I think he had like AC Abyssal, and he was pretty much the carry from the off lane. But I can't remember which game it was.
Well, I don't. Well, so far it doesn't look like that's going to happen this game.
No, it doesn't feel like it. As bottom, they bring the support down. They know they can move Kingslayer down here because the PA is not getting pressured Nightfall. So now they start actually applying pressure onto the Slark lane. V2 might have to move soon.
Regeneration.
He is going to be going the Diffusal BKB route. So wanting to fight this game, V2. And honestly, if he's going for that sort of route, then the Aghanims is very beneficial. And yeah, he's queuing it up, and it must be. I don't think you're giving this out to anyone else. You're giving it to Slark. I mean, the 2 pounces and of course the stats are going to be very beneficial.
Always want to fly again. He just TP'd out to this outpost, and the 2
he's
supports
dead.
are there, and he's just dead. Yeah, Nightfall just continues to free farm top, so yeah, they're doing a good job here at VP of applying the pressure, and NAVI haven't been able to find a way to actually capitalize and respond to it at all. GPK even swinging over to meet with his 2 supports and farm the enemy jungle. Now we're going to see Iceberg make the move. He wants to try to get this tower top, try to slow down Nightfall. I mean, it's a solo PA farming top with 2 here.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Well, they get his courier.
Oh, they did.
Nightfall was hovering it around there, probably. Oh no, he already had the Ring of Health actually. He was just waiting for the money for the void, so won't be able to get it out.
Does show Iceberg making the move though, so he will be able to be protected there. And Iceberg, he's gone for so he's committing. Wow, the 4th point in cost even too. Usually you only see like the 3rd point, and then you max out the Wex and you start getting some Exort. But he's going really in on the cost. We're seeing the supports as well as GPK moving top.
The opening onto Roger. Now spell for him.
Iceberg.
Straight in they go. Iceberg, can he do anything to help out? And he's going to be able to burn the mana of GPK. He may have just made save Roger here, as Roger will manage to back off and isn't going to quite tick out. So Roger saved here by Iceberg turning up.
Now General gets a stun. Max acid spray on to save, so he's very negative on that armor, but they just poke him and run away. Nice little counter gank though. At least they don't lose a hero, and Iceberg is starting to make some moves. Unfortunately, does not get himself.
Ravaged. We'll take that.
In Arcane Rune, I wonder if Jet
This'll come in handy.
would take it himself. Temptation would have been to lend it over to Iceberg, but not really the case.
It's time to farm the triangle. Time to get that Ags online, and they're starting to, get away with the greed. VP. Wondering what their next move is going to be. Probably looking to go down bottom, at least look to pressure this tower, as they haven't gotten a hit on it at all yet. They're going to smoke even the 3 in mid also down bottom. That would be a heavy commitment to really go for this step. That would open the map up nicely for NAVI. They're actually not going to. Save's just going to run down there, meet the Tide in the PA.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
NAVI,
attack.
will they defend this? I don't know. It's up to General.
Radiant
He does have that arcane rune, so maybe he will think about it, but it's tough to go to the Tide's lane.
Tower is under attack.
We'll see Navi
Dire's top
try and hold on
tower
to this
is
tower.
under attack.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom
That'll be the
tower
mech dump
is
for
under
Tide.
attack.
Iceberg at least stepping up
Dire's
the pressure on in the
structures
mid.
are fortified.
Top lane starting to push tier 1 there.
Radiant's
Money for
bottom
Nightfall
tower
though,
has
just a
fallen.
sword away from the Battle Fury.
It's going to be
Dire's
so early
top
on as
tower
he's just
is under
completely
attack.
rushed it. This game, just the treads, just the Blightstone in between with a little wand action. Now they swing mid. They still have that Ravage, so DM, where he goes,
Radiant's
the team
middle
goes.
tower is under attack. Dire's top
NAVI,
tower has
but
fallen.
can they set up for this? Their team fight,
Radiant
it's just extremely
structures are
lackluster. The
fortified.
real only aspect of team fight they have is going to be
Radiant's
coming from that
bottom tower
Invoker.
is under attack.
So it is really hard for them to actually run into any of these VP fights, but they're going to try here. They're smoking. They got to get a really good EMP onto like the Tide Hunter in
Radiant's
particular,
middle
so that
tower is
he
under
might
attack.
struggle with the mana. 400 burn, so he will still have
Dire's
mana for
structures
Ravage,
are
and his
fortified.
Arcanes are up in 10 seconds. I actually like the DM when Arcanes this
Dire's
that
top
out versus
tower
the
is under
the
attack.
Quas Wex. You always want to have at least
Radiant's
one
bottom
pair.
tower is under
Absolutely.
attack.
I guess they can't really fit in a second on it. Maybe actually no, that's not true. Maybe Kingslayer will get one.
Maybe
eventually.
Kingslayer.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
maybe,
right. I
but-
think more than what you ideally at least 2. Really. Especially when you have heroes that's so reliant on it, and hit 2 heroes as well. This Tide and the PA who don't do large of a mana pool.
We'll
that are
turn
gonna
this
want to be
tide
jumping
to our
around the fight.
advantage.
A lot of abilities that they need to be spamming.
So now the question is NAVI happy with this, right? They're getting their Alchemist.
I think they probably are.
Getting away with the greed.
You know what I mean?
But you're also playing into the hands of a Tide and a PA, and PA is going to get battled.
Sure.
They're going to have this crazy scale, and so it's just, it just comes down to it, is are they going to be able to execute inside of the team fights? Because they do lack it.
I think the thing is really, for Na'Vi, obviously have this idea with their draft. I don't think they would have expected anything more out of these open.
I could agree.
I don't think they were thinking, well, we're going to get loads of kills in the laning stage. They obviously have a plan here. and I don't think that they'll be feeling that what they have in mind is not going to be achievable with this sort of slow start. They're going to know that the act, it is done. We'll see it get passed over to VTune.
And he's got a defusal. They've got a,
yeah,
I mean, they have a really good, strong timing here. He is 1600 HP too.
Let's see what he does with it.
Let's see if he can catch on to these squishies. Let's see if VP will prepare. They have Orchid. So VTune has to be a little cautious with his Dark Packs in particular.
I mean, if he catches the PA on the Storm, and he's in, and he's got it. The second pounce will connect. First strike coming down, but Nightfall's off to the side. They've got a concoction coming in, but Nightfall is back underneath the tower. They can't quite finish off the kill, and now VP, they've got the chance to turn. Gush in the dashboard, takes down the CM. VTune, he's been hexed. They're going to jump in. They've got the pullback with the Vortex. VTune's got to get out. They'll step out to the side. TM, his mana's been burnt. He's got nothing to offer. And now VTune, he's going back in. They jump over towards the tide. And NAVI will get away with getting a kill at the end of it all. Sure, they lose the CM, but VTune will manage to pick up DM's life.
Great clutch tornado from Iceberg coming in. I think it was mid-animation on that Tidehunter Ravage. That would have likely been the demise there for VTune. Perfect play there. Perfect invasion. They don't get the PA, but at least they do get something. Unfortunately, they don't get like a Ravage out too, but we're going to see that again as...
Yeah, I mean...
So we're going to watch this. Yeah, watch this. The tornado is super clutch. I really think this would have been super problematic for NAVI if he didn't connect it. You see him walking up, VTune gets connected, and then watch this tornado. DM tries, but gets hit.
He would have been dead for sure. His Dark Pack was on cooldown. They would have had him, but a good disengage, and of course the power of the Axe. VTune, as quickly as he's out, he's able to get straight back in, and they get themselves the core kill. And this, this is exactly what NAVI want to be doing, right? You boosted the Slark to the point where he's got this Axe and defuse of 15 minutes in. You got to look for this sort of action. You've got to try and fight in the face of Nightfall. But with the Battle Fury alone, needs time. Needs to at least get that next time after the Battle Fury before the PA is going to be really happy with getting involved in a fight that NAVI brings.
Yeah, I actually want to see them like pass VTune some sentries, give him some observers. Let this Slark just be like the charger. Let him just get you all this information, get into the backline, cause some havoc. Yeah. Really start to slow down VP so that they can't just sit back with PA. And that's a 3k gold lead. They're actually going to look to set up for the Roche. Okay. They have this medallion, they have all these Chen creeps.
I mean, it's a little around it. Especially with Ravage still up.
They see DM. He's a bit isolated.
VTune's going to start things off.
His mana pool.
As they're moving in onto him, it's about to get taken away from him. He's out of mana.
DK went arcanes as well.
Over here.
I think it makes sense.
That's pretty cool.
I think you really do want as much as you can get here against this Quasworks Invoker. And especially against the Diffusal Slark as well.
Yep, and now they've really hurt DM a lot. They saw him isolated for a second there. They just poke him to remove that mana, and now it's a free Roche for them. So now this is looking very similar to what OG did with this strategy too. 13, 16 minutes, they get this 1 or 2 item timing, get an Aegis, get an advantage, and try to press it.
Yeah, I think absolutely. So far, this is exactly what NAVI planned to achieve. Right? 16 minutes, getting the Aegis, getting the Roshan, having VTune in this position where he is very strong, especially when he gets the BKB done after this Diffusal Axe. He's going to be able to set up kills across the map. He's chasing down Save. Lovely little juke there of the stun. He's got another pounce charge in a second. Does he want to go for it? Oh, yes, he does. Straight underneath the tower, but Save has got stick charges. VTune won't be able to finish the kill. So back off.
Cheeky mana drain. They're doing, this is exactly how NAVI needs to be played though. Just keep starting to get VP at least on the back foot. VP though, they're responding accordingly. The supports, they're getting pressured. They're having to kind of run away and not really do much of anything. Same with DM, but Nightfall and GPK are still farming. They are pushing out these side lanes. GPK even gonna look to bait with an illusion. He pops that one out, starts sending it toward the jungle. Not under any vision though. But maybe expecting them to make a smoke rotation towards him top.
For VP, the way that NAVI plays there is, if they do overextend, do get caught in a Ravage and a turnaround's there for VP, this PA cleans up. The game could quickly get very difficult for NAVI. Yeah. They've got to make sure that each of these moves is pretty flawless, and the VTune always comes out on top. He's going to get the jump in. They'll get themselves Team's player. DM's going to drop the Ravage. It's out onto Iceberg. They'll take out the Invoker. Now with the Orchid onto always want to play, they're going to look for more VTune. Does he want to get back in on this. They've lost to Na'Vi. Pichu's going to try and attempt to keep on fighting. He's looking towards the PA. Nightfall easily able to jump off to the side. As this time VP around the Ravage, they will be able to punch back and push back Na'Vi.
V2 really wanted to try to go for more there, but yeah, can't without the control of his Invoker or his CM. And General wasn't there. General is trying to farm up. You know, not going for that Agonist for the Invoker. I actually like that he's going Solar Crest. More things to enable the Slark. Yeah. Invoker's not ready for Ags. He needs more time. He's got 2 points in Ags already.
For sure, yeah. And then with the Solar Crest and the Alacrity, they're going to have lots of ways to just allow V2 to pop off in these fights.
Still seeing Nightfall pretty close, getting close to that Slark. You know, he's got the Deso already finished up, so he is extremely strong. They don't have Ravage right now, but we're still seeing this PA is getting away with almost everything. These timings are crazy. 18 minutes. It's very early. V2, he's under ward vision. He's aware of that when he is pinging it.
Take that down.
Gotta keep playing these invasive plays. And right now, too, no Ravage. I really want them to just hunt for something. They do see some information with bottom ward, so immediately TP. They see the supports. V2, get active. Iceberg even going to connect. I like this move a lot. Should be able to net them at least 1 kill. They want the big one, though. Nightfall.
Pick up the damage. He's got saved by his side, so Nightfall will be able to jump to safety. Iceberg's able to deal with Kingslayer on his own. See if V2's able to dive in deep for this. He's looking for the Lion. Tornado follow-up. Nightfall, he's out of here.
He just did.
This should be a dead Lion, though. V2 able to finish off safe. Himself another stack of the permanent essence shift over towards mid-general. Able to find a target in time with a concoction. He's out to the shadows.
Navi's doing a great job with all this aggressive vision. Look at the wards that they've gotten down. There's literally no vision right now from VP because this Slark is able to snowball like this. They're able to take out all the vision. They're able to play around their deep aggressive vision and watch the supports and just play around. That's how we see that TP happening bottom. VP getting those kills and getting close to BKB. So he'll have the coverage versus Ravage versus Orchid pretty decently. And versus those supports, he will be able to run rampant in the backlines. And even the Solar Crest now. So he's very enabled. DM. Ravage is still down.
V2 can do. Just get help back.
Dire's courier
Stun from
has
save.
been killed.
40 seconds on Aegis. If he wants to wait. They could definitely look to fight around that timing, though. They still are. I mean, the PA is still very strong. He will be able to race like 3 of the heroes quite easily. Even the Invoker. If they get on top of Iceberg, he's just dead. So Navi still has to approach these fights quite carefully. And oh, look at General. He's getting the Berserk potion. This is the first time I'm going to get to see it.
I mean, it's all about buffing the Slark, right?
It's all about the Slark.
And what numbers have we got from the Berserk potion?
Just 50 attack speed for 10 seconds and a 400 heal. Well, 40 per second for 10. And a basic heal.
That's
so that'll be able to cover him maybe versus some Orchids or some annoying little things too if his Dark Pact isn't. As Navi Aegis is reclaimed, they're swinging to find a fight.
Oh, hello.
Nice tornado.
Yeah, he's going to be able to jump out of the EMP, though.
Yeah. VP's going to smoke themselves, look for a wraparound. They know the Aegis isn't there. BKB's done on V2, though. And they did see that. You know, they have that ward still that got them the kills early on the 2 supports. So we'll watch. We'll be able to read at least the movements from VP for the moment. Trying to get the high ground here again. A little scared to walk up immediately, but they go.
Get the angle.
Nightfall.
He doesn't want to go. He's a little suspicious of a trap being set, and it is. VP waiting behind.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Save has Blink Dagger too on the line, so if they do connect a Ravage, he will have the follow-up either for that Invoker or that Slark. And the Invoker and the Slark really feel like it's 90% of Navi. The other 2 heroes is the other 3 heroes kind of feel like fodder for the most part. Really does have to be every Ravage, as it's still no Blink Dagger on DM. He's very close. He's about to be finished. They're even going to TP out of top, playing very cautious to be. Oh my god, that was close.
He nearly found it. Really keeping GPK on his toes there. Yeah, on the way out.
Nightfall almost has his BKB. He's almost got his big time.
He does.
Battle Fury, Besso, BKB. They're even feeding him tomes. So they're really just trying to enable this PA as much as possible, up to 17 now. If he has BKB, the control's not going to be there for him. And then he can jump from target to target in the backline himself too. Yeah. And they do have double blink, so they have double initiations on VP. While Navi, they have to just rely on the Slark jumping into the backlines. And a little bit tougher for Navi to get the initiations unless they find DM in the front.
DM. Have the stun strike. Counter Vichun. We can see GPK go straight for the backlines. He's looking for always want to fly, but it's not enough damage to burst through the CM. Vichun, he's on over towards save. Next pop, but it won't keep save alive. The Lion, they lose nothing themselves. They do have to put that BKB charge from Vichun to get the kill.
And now DM does have blink, so he shouldn't get caught in those situations where he's in the front line anymore. Vichun. Just use the Dark Pact. Oh my goodness, that was scary. First night going under tower.
He's a little ahead of
VP. Yeah. They're waiting for the BKB. They're so close to it before they really do jump for that full out committed engagement. 6K advantage already now for Navi, so too shabby. Experience still leading VP. Still some good stuff coming after them. Vichun, he is getting ready for that next item, getting ready for that MKB for the PA, but now VP's hit their timing. Now they're gonna look to hit real hard with this big team fight, and this PA is now much stronger. About to hit 18 though. Maybe they want to wait for Nightfall to kill this weak wave. He will, so now he's 18. Got the level 3 crit online.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A one fight here will probably mean Roshan as well.
Could even mean much more than that. Really feels super impactful for this one.
Iceberg! Oh, he steps up and they're ready! Immediately making the jump on him, Iceberg! He's going to get taken out. They throw everything out onto the Invoker and Iceberg's gone.
A big hit around the bounty runes too. They still have this control here. Navi, they'll swing over to the right side. Look at VP. They know they're swinging.
Radiant are scanning.
Nightfall, gonna find always want to fly. And they go for Vichun. The party is here.
Vichun's going for this. He's going for Kingslayer, and he's not going to quite get it. He's now got to back off, jumps down into the river. Dagger to stand up on always want to fly. They jump in, they find the CM. GPK, he is out of mana completely, but the backup's there. As DM comes in with a Ravage to lock down General. VP hitting back as Navi caught, sort of separated there, losing Iceberg over their side of the map, and then VP with that very quick move to make sure that Navi wasn't able to split off and do something elsewhere.
They know how strong their team fight really is. They want to try to force a roast right now, but they aren't really healthy enough to swing over there. Now Navi, there's going to be no Ravage for some time, and Vichun, he's definitely feeling a bit strong. Iceberg though, he has to be so careful for his positioning walking into these high grounds.
Okay. Done.
Navi try to force. I think they should try to force the roast
no
around Ravage. Yeah, no. I think Navi has to try to. They are
I
under
think
vision.
they can as well.
Solar
Crest, Alacrity, they can hit this pretty.
Berserk Potion,
pretty well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a bit of tankiness, giving him that HP regen if they want to go for Roche. They're going to try for a kill first. DM, scout out into the pit. Navi's already out. They're coming in with a long wraparound here. Will VP expect this sort of angle? Vichun, he's going to jump in. Looking for the easy kills first. He commits with the BKB, jumps in onto Kingslayer. The Witch knocks it down. Over towards the side, GPK. He's coming in with the BKB. He's onto Iceberg. DM jumps in with the angle smash. Going to bring down Iceberg in time. Iceberg's still alive. He's up to the side, but they've got detection. They take him out through the Ghost Wall. Vichun turning over towards GPK, but he's back up towards the tier 2 tower. Now he's looking towards CM. Vichun locking down onto the Tide. As Vichun, he'll be able to finish off the Tide. It's a triple kill for him. Mass buybacks coming out from VP though. They jump over the Hex with the Dark Pack. It was already off, and Vichun, he's well out of it. He's still got pounces to work with. They can't catch him. And he's even thinking about maybe jumping back in if one of them pushes out alone, as that was a couple of buybacks expended there from VP to try and keep the action going. Nightfall hunting.
They're really understanding how fragile Iceberg is, though, with this build. The Witchblade into Spirit Vessel, he's taking it's stalled his BKB out a lot now. They just full commit onto him, and they have to, they're fortunate to at least get a triple kill, but they have to run away immediately. Is V2 now?
What he's found here. He's burning the mana. GPK's only got a little bit left. He's going to have another pounce if he can find the angle, Vichun. Does he want to go for it? He certainly does. He's going to be able to get in. on top of the storm sprint, and he's found GPK as GPK down for 50. V-Tune's back out. Nightfall, Kingslayer, and DM, they're on their way over. But they can't do anything about this slug right now, especially with Shadow Knights being back up in 10 seconds. Is BKB still good to go? V-Tune continuing to keep his game very much flawless. 8-0-0 on the slug.
Radiant's bottom tower
With this draft, with these builds, Na'Vi, they're putting everything onto the shoulders of V-Tune's slug. And so far, it is working. V-Tune's carrying them strong.
And now he's into Roche. There is a Ravage up, though. They've got 20 seconds till the Storm. They might be able to kill it in time. It dies incredibly quick. Haven't quite committed the Berserk Potion yet. Perhaps saving that for a basic Dispel, as we've seen these hexes and stuff be a little problematic for V-Tune. And they should be able to get it 10 seconds. Not dying quick enough.
Oh, VP. Can they make the jump in time? V-Tune in general, they're getting out of the pit. DM is going to jump in, but there's no one to be found inside of the pit. They're already out to the edges of it. V-Tune, it's an early ult, but it's enough to allow him to get in, take down Kingslayer. GPK with a big step right in the middle, looking towards General, but the BKB's out. Ravage catches the General Alchemist, he catches Roger's Shen. Now they'll turn their attention towards V-Tune, as V-Tune's he's trying to escape this. GPK's chasing GPK, pretty much out of mana though. Nightfall tries to jump over to close the gap. Always want to fly, he's got to keep himself in here. Grey Dagger would take him out. General's brought back for this. They want to fight around the pit. They know it's still a little hard for GPK to do a whole lot as he's waiting for his mana to regen. And Iceberg, he's got the BKB ready for this.
Yeah, and Nightfall's feeling very strong. At level 21, he's got the Orb of Destruction on top of the Basher now too. A lot of these heroes just will get instantly disintegrated in the fights. General has to be careful now with his positioning too after using this buyback. V-Tune, he's about to have MKB, so he'll have ways to actually be able to address Nightfall in the fights too.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
DM? He was just trying to keep lookout around the pit. Finds out Nightfall to jump in on the Iceberg. Iceberg, he's going to get the Ghost Walk off. But the finger, they find him, they pop the dust, they burst him down. Now Nightfall turns over towards Always Want to Fly. They get General. They've got the Hex, they've got the lockdown on the V-Tune. They've got the chain control as well as Nightfall gets the triple kill. And that sort of fight there was pretty much Navi's worst nightmare in a game like this, where they had to keep the momentum, keep V-Tune's game clean as possible.
Time to our advance.
But VP, they're finding the opportunity here. Iceberg, you see, had the BKB, not wanting to pop it to reveal himself from the invis, but of course they had the detection and saved quick with the burst, left no opportunity for Iceberg to change his mind and decide he needed to pop it.
Man, it's Save coming in clutch so many times. I've been watching this line sitting in the back lines. He's literally just clicking on V-Tune and just waiting to see for dark types, waiting for these like connections where he can get the stuns. That's now a big hit. VP, they've got the Aegis.
And that sort of swing there, that is really
breaks them.
It is the swing that you sort of have to ask yourself. This strat that Navi has gone for, can it deal with that sort of turnaround in a game against a very farmed Storm and a very farmed PA?
And I was really worried for Iceberg in this game. You know, this Invoker, very fragile hero. He's just being focused every single time. VP understands he's the team fight. He's everything when it comes down to Navi's actual control for the Slark to go crazy. And they're just addressing him in every single one of these situations. V-Tune's still able to pop off in most of them, 9-1. But Iceberg is not able to get almost anything. 1, 4, and 5. VP really understanding how to take the fights. And now Aegis and Chi on these two heroes. I don't know how Navi is able to deal with the PA. They couldn't deal with him before, and now he's just got a whole other set of items finished.
Yeah, they're ready to go into the base. VP know after that fight that they're in a very strong position.
That was without Ravage. That was DM kind of just baiting them pre-Ravage. Now he has Spider Legs climbing into the base with the Ravage available. Heroes are going to die real quick.
Yeah,
he doesn't connect on pretty much anybody.
Jump in, BG. He's having to put the BKB. GPK is in the back line. Nightfall jumps over the Ravage. They're able to get the three of them. General, Roger, and Always Want to Fly all caught out there by the jump from TM. As the three of them fall and no buybacks on them. As VP have now easily got the space to take this bottom tier 3 and almost certainly more.
Bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's
just the leading heroes at this point. Level 24 PA they've hit all of their timings and they've taken such good fights. And now they're going to back up. They're going to give some respect to Navi, even though now they've taken such a commanding lead in this game. Only says 6K, but it feels like it's way more than that now.
A perfect jump from the trees there.
Yeah.
With his position, Navi not prepared for him to already be close enough to get that sort of deep jump at the angle that he did. Wow, really paying the price here, Navi. Down 6k.
And now they can't really go out because they just can't fight versus this at all. Like, there's too much map control for VP. Now it's a DD on the PA2. Even without Ravage, the fight's just... They're not there. This Slark, he can't actually jump into the backlines and kill a hero immediately or anything like that.
They're going to try and come out with the smoke.
Let's see.
See if they can do something whilst the Ravage is down. V2, can he find his target? He wants to look for the squishies first, ideally. But, you know, ready, they want to get a save as well. Oh, ready, save, he's able to get the jump! He's in with a hate save!
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, there's the tip, he knows! A perfect jump from save, and it is over. They'll call it. As VP will take this game one. Navi, they came in with a strap. It looked good, but it had to be perfect. And